everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host Kushalmehra. So the World Test Championship final has concluded, and India has been convincingly defeated in almost every department of the game by Australia. At the end of it, I don't even want to go through the scorecard because it's pointless. Most of you must have by now read the scorecard and the details. If you have not, भाई 3 दिन बाद podcast कर रहे हैं हम लोग, तो क्यों नहीं पढ़ा अभी तक, जाके फिर देख लेना. But Australia defeated India to win the World Test Championship final, and with this, Australia becomes the team to hold all silverware in cricket. Now they have the T20 World Cup, the ODI World Cup, and the World Test Championship. So they become the first of all the teams to have that unique, you know, thing in their arsenal. And as always, count on the Aussies when it comes to the silverware. They always turn up. So congratulations to the Australian cricket team and everyone in the Australian management. They deserved this victory. They were clearly the better team from day one to day five. And as always, to talk about all things cricket, I have Adit with me. Adit, welcome.
Hello, Kushal. What a week. मतलब टीम इंडिया looked absolutely hopeless from day one और second session day one. फिर थोड़ा थोड़ा hope पैदा किया और फिर मतलब उसके ऊपर ठंडा पानी भी नहीं, सीधा बर्फ ही डाल दिया. Like how dare you develop any hope? No, congratulations to Australia. Uh, outstanding display of cricket. They were professional, thoroughly professional from day one. We actually predicted sort of how the test would go. जब हम लोग चिल्ला चिल्ला के ट्रेविस हेड की बात कर रहे थे कि अश्विन को नहीं खेला तो ट्रेविस हेड खा जाएगा, और खा गया. I mean, you just have to go to our previous podcast where we previewed the World Test Championship, where we actually said it. Steve Smith तो मतलब इंडिया का नेमेसिस है ही. They both showed a very new Aussie way of playing cricket, and the reason why I say new Aussie way is they have actually not just आप रिकी पॉन्टिंग की ऑस्ट्रेलिया देखो तो मे बी टू सम एक्सटेंट डेमियन मार्टिन वाज द कंसोलिडेटर और समथिंग, बट पीपल वुड गो, द होल टीम वुड गो बी गोइंग लिटिल aggressively, right? If you look at this, it's remind me of the Steve Waugh Aussies to some extent, where you had Steve Smith playing that Steve Waugh kind of innings, where he's actually going at the strike rate of 35 or 40 in a day, and then Travis Head doing that sort of Gilchrist plus Hayden kind of, add a little bit of Mike Hussey, that fast approach, take the team, attack to the opposition. So even though Steve Smith is 35 or 100 balls, or if 60 of 200 balls, Australia is already 300 plus at the end of the day, because Travis Head is going at another ball. So it was brilliant strategy, compounded by the fact that India completely and woefully mismanaged their team selection. So much so that the Sachin Tendulkar spoke up against it. Like, I have never seen Sachin tweet about that, but I think he is the ultimate, like, he's still a fan like us, or usse bhi raha nahi gaya, and he essentially ranted about the team selection on Twitter, saying, what the hell were you thinking not picking Ashwin on this wicket?
Look, there are two angles to this. First of all, if you were going to go with four seamers, why the hell was Jaydev Unadkat not picked? He would have added some sort of variety, bringing in a left armer. TK,
Hmm.
I understand you wanted four seamers. Uh, to begin with, I don't think so. Bowling on this wicket, in hindsight, first bowling on this wicket was that bad a decision, because I don't know how many people heard what Pat Cummins said. He said even we would have bowled if we would have won the toss. So even
Yeah.
Australia was going to bowl on this wicket if they would have won the toss. So to those people who were abusing for selecting to bowl first, no, that pitch did deserve a bowl first kind of a decision. That was not the problem. The problem was clearly after Shami and Siraj were done bowling. Um, I am a Siraj fan, but it also shows Siraj is a very good first change bowler, not your first two bowler. That is point number one.
Absolutely.
If Siraj has a Shami and a Bumrah going hammer and tongs, then Siraj after that, then the opposition is like, "Hi, मैं क्या करूं?" kind of a situation. But
Mhm.
if you wanted to pick Shardul Thakur, I get it. I mean, I don't get it. I want Ashwin in the team, but okay, I still understand three right arm seamers, but you needed a Jaydev Unadkat as a variety in the fourth seamer. But nobody put it better than Sunil Gavaskar in his recent op-ed. I forgot the newspaper where he has written. He said you cannot have the number one Test match bowler in the world being being rested considering playing conditions, because you would never do it with the number one batsman in the world. If the number
Yes,
one batsman in the world is expected to bat and perform in all conditions, then the number one bowler in the world should also be expected to bowl and perform in all conditions. The bottom line is these conditions were made for Ashwin. Look, Lyon picked up 5 wickets in the match. Jadeja, I think, picked up 4 wickets in the match. And in the second innings, I don't know how many people remember this. Travis Head could not play रवि जडेजा. हालत क्या हो रही थी
yes,
ट्रेविस हेड की? नाच रहा था वो, नाच रहा था. इमेजिन वो क्या करता अगर अश्विन बॉलिंग कर रहा होता. बट नाउ हम सिर्फ,
absolutely.
व्हाट वाज द टीम मैनेजमेंट थिंकिंग? यू हैव हेड इज अ
So
लेफ्ट हैंडर,
they keep
वार्नर इज अ
pointing.
लेफ्ट हैंडर, चार लेफ्ट हैंडर है ना उनके, कैरी लेफ्ट
Panch
हैंडर
in
है.
the top eight. No, no, no. In the top eight, you have David Warner, Usman Khwaja, Travis Head, Alex Carey, and Mitchell Stark. And before people say, "Oh, Mitchell Stark is a bowler," bhai mere, from 167 for six, Mitchell Stark was the one who put in a 100-run stand with Alex Carey in the second innings. So Mitchell Stark
Yes,
can bat. So
yes,
I mean, so I mean, it was so. In my opinion, I Mitchell Stark is like the Shardul Thakur slash Ravi Ashwin of Australia, who can actually bat better than but the real question is, Kushal, and we'll come back to Ashwin in a second. Why is this debate over whether Ashwin or Shardul? Because your top six suck, or top seven. The whole debate is in India is because our top order is so terrible, we need all rounders. Why are we not talking that? Why is our so-called best batsman, except for that 186 averaging in the 20s in the last 3 years? Virat Kohli's average, if you look on Cricinfo Stats Guru, you take out that 186 that he made,
here's a
it's in
stat
the
for you.
20s.
In tests involving India in WTC cycle 21-23, Indian batters have fared better compared to their opposition for every batting position barring number 4, and the difference for that position is large enough to cover the gains made by other batters in top 6. I'm just backing you up, brother.
Insane.
Look at
Insane.
this. Look
And
at what our number 4 batsman is doing. Our openers are doing fine. Number 3 is number 5 is whatever. Number 6 is whatever. Number 7. So Virat Kohli in this cycle has scored 932 runs in 17 test matches at an average of 32.13. In tests involving Kohli, his number 4 counterpart has scored 1337 runs at an average of 49.51. If we exclude Bangladesh and Sri Lanka from the equation, then the opposition number 4 averages 61.63. Joe Root's prolific form has played some part in that skew, but Kohli's returns over the last 3 years are worrisome. He's averaged 19 in 2020, 28 in 2021, 11 tests, 26 May 26 in 2022, 6 tests. He's currently averaging 45 in 2023 in 5 test matches. It is skewed because of 186 जो आदित ने अभी mention किया था. I just wanted to share all of this to back Adit up statistically.
yeah, so I was like, if you really want to drop the best person in the lineup, the only person right now is
And
the
we can't
biggest
drop.
weak
Let's
link in
get
it
real. You
is
can't
Virat.
drop Kohli. You can't drop
No,
Kohli.
no, you can't. No, exactly my point. You can't drop Kohli. So how can you drop Ashwin? By that exact logic,
Exactly. Exactly.
why can't you drop
100% with you,
Kohli?
brother. 100%
Why
with you
can't
on
you
this.
drop Kohli? Because you cannot drop champions. Kohli at his
Yes.
weakest will give you that performance in the
Yeah.
Champions Trophy, the
And
T20
he
World Cup that
lifts
he
the
gives.
team up, boss. He lifts the team up.
Exactly. I agree. So, and we only have two fighters who can give it. And I'm sorry, every person is a fighter, but दो लोग हैं जो उंगली कर सकते हैं opposition के अंदर. एक है विराट कोहली, दूसरा है रवि अश्विन.
Absolutely,
Please tell
brother.
me anyone who gets under their under the Aussies island. So the एक तो वो है. दूसरा, why did you play Sachin always against Aussies even when he was in his lull? Because Sachin had that emotion in terms of Aussies, because even the Aussies were like, oh, he's only one innings away. Similarly, Ashwin ke saath wo hai that if the wicket is taking turn, if they are left-handed, Ashwin is only a couple of wickets away from breaking this game open. At 76 for 3, by the way, we got very lucky that it was 76 for 3. Shardul Thakur got David Warner strangled down the leg side. It could have been much worse on day one. Right, but at 76 for 3, when the wicket is taking just a little bit of turn, not a whole lot of turn as day 2 or 3, um, Ashwin could have been, if nothing, at least a variety and a better option than either a Shardul Thakur or Umesh Yadav. Yes, I know Shardul scored 50 in the second innings, but the second innings, the discussion should be, why the hell did the batting fail on the best batting conditions of the test match? Day 2 and day 3 are the best batting days of the test match. There is no way in heck you should be 71 for 4 against Australia, and and those were poor shot selections. So we'll sorry, I jump ahead. Let's talk about the bowling first, then we'll talk about the batting after. So at
Look, the
76 for
bowling
3,
is, we lost the match on session 2 and session 3 of day 1. We lost that
so
match
this
then.
is
We were only playing
so
catch up.
when I was recording the podcast on Mindmakers on Sunday, right after the World DC, I said we lost the game on. If we lost the game on day 1, the epitaph was written on day 2. So day 1, we were 80%, 90% out of the game. For some miraculous reasons, the bowlers brought us back and restricted Australia to 450, 460. Unlog ne last 7 wicket, 100 runs mili. First of all, the lengths were too short because you had just come from the IPL. The length that works in the IPL, you have to be 2 or 3 meters in front. You have to pitch it up more in test match cricket. These bowlers were bowling at a certain length for the last 2 months, so they had to change that. So that change happened. They tried the bouncers against Travis Head on day 2 and Australia. But then what happens after we bundled them out? We should have been sort of 200 for 3. Instead, we were 150 for 5.
But another problem that I have with this mindset that if it is a seaming track, we need 4 seamers is we pick 3 spinners in India every time, right? And 1 fast bowler. We go with 4 bowlers effectively whenever we are playing India ke andar
Yeah.
on spinning tracks. The third spinner barely gets bowled in India. Everybody knows that. This has been the trend going from the days of Rajesh Chauhan being the third spinner at times, when India used to pick 3 spinners.
Depends.
The
At
third
times, he was
spinner
the number
gets
2 spinner
underbowled.
also.
Yeah. Third spinner always gets underbowled. I actually looked up the numbers every time 3 spinners have played in India. The third spinner barely gets to bowl if compared to number 1 and number 2. Why doesn't that logic apply to fast bowlers? That is my question number 1. If workload management is an issue, well, you have 3 seamers, right? You can manage the workload amongst the 3 seamers. And in your case, you are blessed to have an all-rounder like Ravi Jadeja, who can always rest your 3 fast bowlers. So why not bowl Ravichandran Ashwin as your frontline attacking spinner every time? Even if Ravichandran Ashwin would not have taken wickets in the first innings, I can guarantee you वो runs नहीं देता.
Yes.
वो runs नहीं देता, and he would have created the chances for his fast bowlers because they would have tried to hit the fast bowlers because Ashwin को नहीं मार पा रहे थे.
Exactly. Travis Head cannot play Ashwin. I don't know how else to say it. He cannot play Ashwin the same way he can play.
He could play Jadeja in the second innings. He could play Jadeja.
No, I'm saying Jadeja in the first. And Kushal, if you remember, I actually said this in the on our preview podcast, and people jumped on me for saying that on this wicket, if you play Jadeja in the first innings, he will play a Jack Leach type of role, where he'll hold up one end. And everyone
That's
was
his
like,
job, boss. That's his job.
It is exactly. No, but we refuse to believe that, na, because kya hota hai ki when we see Ravindra Jadeja bowling on these flat turning wickets on day 2 or day 1 in India, we think that, oh my God, Ravindra Jadeja is going to be this, spinner. No, he's not. He's actually a Jack Leach type bowler who holds up one end when the wicket is not turning, and then when the wicket starts taking turn, he bowls in. Ravichandran Ashwin is your attacking spinner.
और तेरे को याद है मेरे ऊपर हंसे थे लोग जब मैंने बोला था ईशान शर्मा को ही ले आते थे इससे अच्छा, तो यार क्या बुरा था. मतलब see, and again, why is Umesh Yadav selected for overseas test? He's an India bowler. He bowls very well when he's in India. He never bowls well overseas, यार. मतलब records तो टीम मैनेजमेंट के पास भी होंगे ना.
I don't want to say bad things about the management, but as you know, the slogan, the definition of stupidity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result every single time you do it. Like
I don't
literally.
get Umesh Yadav selection. I would have picked up Jaydev Unadkat any time over Umesh Yadav simply because of a left arm option. Now, Siraj and
Yeah,
Shami, can I say, I really appreciate what they did in this test match. They bowled their heart out. Shami
yeah.
was outstanding throughout the test match, boss. मोहम्मद शमी was outstanding and सिराज ने भी यार 4 विकेट ली फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में कोई बुरा काम नहीं किया सिराज also bowled his heart out but at the end
But you
of the
need
day
support.
yes you I mean क्या कर रहे थे वो लोग and यार लोग है ना ड्रॉप कैच करते हैं लोग भूल रहे हैं कि ट्रेविस हेड was also dropped I'm not saying that catch was easy राणे ने उसको गली में ड्रॉप किया था याद है
Yeah,
ना
not just that, boss. You Shardul Thakur, whatever with his done, he actually goes at 3 or 3.5 or 4 and over. So you cannot keep
always
Shardul Thakur will give you that one freak wicket or something, but he'll also give you two rubbish balls. Let's be real.
but शार्दुल ने अपनी फर्स्ट दो स्पेल बहुत अच्छी डाली थी यार फर्स्ट
No,
इनिंग्स
no,
में
मैं मना नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but I'm saying कि you don't have those bowlers who will give you like an Ashwin or a Bumrah who will go at 2.5, 3 and over. और बुमराह की तो मैंने बात ही करनी छोड़ देना. Whatever Bumrah gives us in Test match cricket is a
देख
bonus now.
बुमराह ठीक है बुमराह एक बोनस राउंड है बट आर वी सेइंग वी डोंट हैव गुड फास्ट बॉलर्स कम ऑन आई मीन have you followed how Arshdeep is doing right now for Kent?
Not just
Arshdeep
Arshdeep.
को देखा
I can name at least 4 or 5. You have Arshdeep.
we have so many
You have Kuldeep Sen, who people
yes
will forget. Kuldeep Yadav करके एक bowler है. Then you have Mukesh Chaudhary once he's fit who played for CSK. Then you have what's his name, Prasidh Krishna, another excellent fast bowler, right? Shivam Bavi के
प्रसिद्ध
बारे
अभी
में
इंजर्ड है
बोला.
मगर थोड़ा इंजर्ड है
No, no,
प्रसिद्ध
injured. Actually, last time I said it, he also just got married 2 days ago. So many congratulations to Prasidh Krishna. No, he
hmm.
is, but I'm saying you have to mentor these, na? And another thing you have to really, really investigate is why the heck do Indian fast bowlers break down so much and the Australian fast bowlers don't? मैंने
Well, Josh Hazelwood would say hold my beer on that.
Yeah, but how many Indian fast bowlers have broken down in the last 2 or 3 years? That Australia tour, we were essentially an ambulance. हर दो
That
टेस्ट
was
मैच को
amazing. That was
नवदीप
amazing.
सैनी was down, Jasprit Bumrah was down. You were down to net bowlers. Natarajan was picked as a net bowler.
Was
Natarajan, Thakur,
that
and all.
makes that victory even more special. That how the hell did we win even
Absolutely.
after that?
No, so
Rishabh Pant.
that's what I'm coming. No, and we had people step up at the right moment, right? You
Yeah.
had people step up at the right moment. And how did we win? Because we had a gun spinner who was bowling phenomenal. Ashwin was brilliant in the first 3 test matches, and then Adelaide Oval में day night test match में Ashwin can start in the first innings and take out Steven Smith and Travis Head on day one, and you're telling me that he can't do it in the Oval when on 5 days.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and he has a
The
good
fact
average
is,
in that ground. The worst part
no,
was he
no,
actually does well in that ground.
no. The funniest thing was Kushal, Nasir Hussain, and Michael Vaughan, two brilliant, in my opinion, brilliant English captains, were shouting up and down that you cannot play this game with a not a frontline spinner. I mean, would the Australians have this discussion about Shane Warne? Oh my God, Gabba looks very green. Let's not play Warne. Now, I'm not comparing Ashwin to Shane Warne, but what the place that Warne occupied in that Australian lineup, the similar place right now, your number one spinner, whether people like it or not, is Ashwin. So either you don't play or you play them all, almost all. In my opinion, they should play all the games, right? He should be your attacking spinner. And so why does Nathan Lyon come into? Nathan Lyon only bowls 2 overs, right, in the first innings. But what does he do in the first over? In the first innings, the most threatening partnership between Ravindra Jadeja and Ajinkya Rahane, he comes out, bowls a beauty, and takes out a left-hander. India has one left-hander in the top 7, and guess what? The off-spinner comes and takes him out.
It was
Actually, India has
frustrating.
one. Hold on, India has one left-hander in the entire playing 11.
या और कोई है ही नहीं एक ही था लायन ने
Yeah.
उसको ले लिया
और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के 5 है और हमने नहीं लिए. By the way, I would also want to talk about our batting order. Let's talk about our batting order.
हाँ
What
so
in the
बैटिंग का I
hell?
wanted to share one stat. This is the worrying bit, okay? Whether we like it or not. So Wisden India shared this. And Akash Chopra was right. He said, why is everyone blaming our bowlers? Our batters let us down. Bottom line, look at the batting average by teams in 2021-23 World Test Championship. Australia almost 37, 36.95. New Zealand 34.20. Pakistan 33.89. Sri Lanka 29.38. India 29.25. It says it all. And imagine this, that this entire drop, now I take you back to the number 4. Your entire drop is because your number 4 is underperforming.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
else is fine. Your number 4 is underperforming compared to other teams.
And what are we, some government enterprise that there has to be no appraisal of performances and all senior players should always be picked till they actually say that ab mujhe retire karna hai? Like, what is Rahul Dravid doing? Is he like handing out if the
Okay, no, तो
conversation that
फिर
he
this is the natural question then. ठीक है, चल अभी अभी तूने बात छेड़ ही दी है, तो बात निकलेगी तो बहुत दूर तलक जाएगी,
दूर तक
जो कहते हैं हमारी
जाएगी?
भाषा में.
हाँ.
So ESPN Cricket 4, they literally they put this photo up. I mean, very brave of me. ESPN Cricket 4 मैं बहुत हंसा जब उन्होंने ये डाला. Look at this. You are the Indian selector. You can pick only 2 of these for the next WTC cycle. Bol Adit. The 4. Okay. Why I always repeat the names is because this is an audio podcast. So for the benefit of our audio listeners,
Of course.
I'm doing this. So Rohit Sharma, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, Virat Kohli. Bolo. Who do you drop for the next WTC cycle? Let's get real. Who do you drop? The image is
Uh,
there on the screen.
Rohit Sharma for sure goes in the next WTC cycle. I just don't see him being fit enough to play at WTC championship in 2 years from now.
I
That's
think we
for
should
sure.
not drop anyone. My personal view. They should be in the squad. You can experiment with one player here and there,
Are you
but
Because
कौन
Rohit
हो?
Sharma
अच्छा
can.
अच्छा, let's start with who
Okay, no,
will
no,
be
no.
the opener
Let
instead of Rohit?
Yes.
Mayank?
Okay. No. So I'm no. I'm coming to that. There is only one way Rohit Sharma plays in the test matches. If he steps down as a limited overs captain, I don't see Rohit Sharma playing 2, 3 formats. He just cannot.
Oh, that's a good point. So if he goes out of
Yeah.
white ball cricket, then you continue him in red ball cricket.
Yes. Exactly. If
Red ball cricket and
Rohit,
IPL is the combination for Rohit Sharma. That's what you're saying?
absolutely, because you in we have two openers ready in ODI and T20, Shubman Gill and Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yes. I agree with you. 100% agreement with you, brother. 100%.
So
But tell
so
me, who will replace Rohit Sharma when he has been doing very well overall as a red ball opener
so
over the
So
period of
that's what
time?
I'm saying. If Rohit Sharma agrees to step down from the ODI team or the after the World Cup or the T20 team, I am fine with Rohit Sharma continuing for 2 more years as a test match opener. But that is my
Okay.
contingent. If Rohit Sharma wants to play white ball cricket, then we either have to groom Yashasvi Jaiswal or we have to look at Priyank Panchal, who's been doing brilliant in Ranji Trophy. There
Yes.
are Abhimanyu Ishwaran. There are a lot of good number threes we have in Ranji Trophy who can be molded. But अगर आपको यशस्वी जायसवाल को नहीं डाला, I think definitely Priyank Panchal is a good shoe in for the opening batsman because uski game is old fashioned. Priyank Panchal does not just go and dash. He plays at
Yeah.
40-50 strike rate and stuff, and he's been scoring runs. And I'm not just saying because Gujarat ki team ke liye khelta. He's actually, his record is
यार
insane.
Gujarat थोड़ी ना out of India. This is this new.
No, no, I
Can I
know.
just make this
No,
comment? No. I know you are Gujarati, but let me speak as a Punjabi and a Mumbai Marathi and a Gujarati mix. I am all. This hatred, this hatred of Modi and Shah that has become this hatred of Gujarat in India. Can everybody calm the heck down? Gujarat
no,
is
the
a
funny,
part of India. Jews are Indians.
the funniest thing was someone actually messaged me that you are a Ravindra Jadeja supporter because he's from Gujarat and not Ravi. I was like, have you seen my timeline? मैं Ravi Ashwin के लिए 2 साल से चिल्ला रहा हूँ that he should play
Idiots,
in. I was like,
morons.
what are you talking
Seriously,
about,
क्या
man?
बोल रहे हैं लोग यार? They've lost
But
it. I mean,
regardless, I think the amongst the top four, the most vulnerable right now is Cheteshwar Pujara.
but yeah, okay.
Cheteshwar
See,
Pujara.
he was
No,
literally dropped. He was
no,
dropped.
no. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to that. Why I said it. He still has 1 more year left in him. 1 more year where someone has to sit down with Pujara and say that you have 10 test matches. You play the way you want. If your average is anything below 45 in 10 test matches, you will be dropped. right? And 45 nahi, ek range 40 to 45. But amongst the top four, because Ajinkya Rahane has worked on his game, has absolutely worked on his game. Cheteshwar Pujara, I thought in the way, the form he was in English county cricket has worked. But that shot in the second innings, what was he thinking? Did someone get in his head? Right? Did someone get in
Hmm.
his head कि आपको strike rate improve करनी है and stuff like that? And the unfortunate part is, I think Virat Kohli needs to be rested for 3 series, 2 or 3 series, and needs to be brought back for a marquee series. But I don't think there is a single selector in India who has it in them to say that Virat bhai ab West Indies ki series mat khelo. I really don't think we need Virat Kohli in the West Indies series, and there is no point in him getting 100 there and then struggling again when England comes to India in January and February for a 5 Test series.
But
I'd rather Virat Kohli.
yeah, he needs runs under his tree because sports
You
psychology is
know,
about confidence.
no, but you know what Virat Kohli needs? He needs to go and play county cricket in England against a moving ball where every ball is balled on his fourth and fifth stump, not on these patta wickets in Port of Spain and Saint Lucia. If they really want, but you know, problem with Virat Kohli is कि फिर वो ego आ जाता है, player का ego, selectors का ego. Oh, the Virat Kohli will play county cricket. Why the hell not, man? Rahul Dravid did, Saurav Ganguly did, Sachin Tendulkar did. Virat Kohli अभी क्यों नहीं खेल सकता? He's clearly struggling. Look at the way he got out. Can we talk
Look,
about his first innings dismissal? The ball
yeah,
was short pitched, but he's so far in on his front foot that he has no time to get back. And it looks like a snorter, but it's not. Sanjay Manjrekar and Sunil Gavaskar both called it out that his technique is. Sunil Gavaskar was asked, "What would you do?" He's like, "I would literally step back and let it go because that ball was going over the stumps. I would not even come close to playing it." Right? But you know, you who will criticize Virat Kohli? बेचारे रवि शास्त्री तो कर नहीं सकते, वो अभी भी यही मानते हैं कि विराट कोहली के बेस्ट पड़ी है in the commentary box. So that is why you had, I think, Sunny Gavaskar losing his head. Like, you know, I don't think he lost his head, but he getting very angry about when he was asked about Kohli's dismissal in the second innings and, you know, the first innings was a symptom of that. That I think even the
hmm.
commentators are not speaking their mind on TV. And being next to the Australian commentators for the last 5 days, who Ricky Ponting's analysis was at another level. Him, Justin Langer, and so forth. And our Indian commentators could not speak their minds on Indian cricketers. I think it weighed down on Sunny Gavaskar. That's why he said what. I don't know if you have that 30-second clip or something, but we should definitely
No, I
show it to
don't.
people.
But
What?
I know which one you're talking about with the lady who asked him the question like, "Why are you asking me? Go ask Kohli." He said that.
Yeah, because he's right. Like, why are you asking me? Like, the second innings, what could he have done? The ball was on the fifth or fourth stump or fifth stump or something, and Kohli goes for the shot. And a lot of people are correct. He was clearly playing for the landmark. He just wanted to get to 50. He ek 50 aa jaye, ek 100 aa jaye. So, and guess what? In the entire test match, where one of the teams scores 450, in both innings, between both innings, you had only one guy or two guys going about 50. Ajinkya Rahane scoring a brilliant 89 in the first innings and Shardul Thakur 50. But let's not forget, they were dropped, I don't know, 4 times. Ajinkya Rahane was LBW of a no ball. Shardul Thakur gets dismissed of a no ball. So, yes, luck played a part, but we were made to look far better because of some Australian field lapses.
Yeah, but that's not in India's hands, right? That's like saying if
It isn't.
Travis Head was also dropped by Rahane, right, when
No,
he
no,
was
no, no.
batting.
It isn't. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that our batting actually had the margin of victory could have been a lot more had Rahane or Shardul, gotten
Yeah,
out.
I mean,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
you can only play by what you have, not what could
Of
have
course, of
happened.
course, of course, absolutely. I'm not denying that at all. But
See,
yeah,
my
so
my whole point about these four names that we have shown on the screen, as far as batting is
mm,
concerned, is then what the hell are
mm,
you going to do? Let's get real. The only person who can be phased out in the long run is Rohit Sharma. Pujara was literally dropped and he scored boatloads of runs in Ranji Trophy cricket. He did well in English county cricket and he got back in the side. He scored 200s or 100, I don't remember, in Bangladesh. He's basically done whatever was asked of him. Rahane,
yeah,
again, the same story. Rahane went away, scored
mm,
boatloads of runs in Ranji Trophy cricket, showed that he still deserves his spot. He comes back in the final, and he's your most successful batsman in the final. So,
yep,
what is and you can't drop Kohli.
Yeah.
I'm just stating the obvious. You can't drop Kohli. The only person who might become the sacrificial lamb in this entire process is Rohit Sharma, which again is a wrong decision because Rohit Sharma has been your most performing batsman in those spitting cobras in India. And
Exactly.
now, can we talk about the pitch decision in India?
No, no. First, before we talk about the pitch decision, can I ask you a very controversial question? And you're gonna laugh when I say this. BCCI is the board making the most revenue, the most successful team in the ICC in terms of fan base and stuff. Yet it hasn't won an ICC tournament in the last 10 years. Is BCCI the RCB of international cricket?
Yeah. So let's discuss this also. This whole thing about us not winning tournaments, right? And I have a lot of things to say about
Yeah.
this entire.
And because I think
So
RCB has the best
so
fan base,
so
great
India did
revenue,
not win.
but
By the way, India did not win any ICC trophy after 1983 also, na?
but 1983 was like
Nahin, let's
literally
get
the
real.
equivalent.
1983 के बाद they won 4 in the next 11 years. ठीक है, 2013 से हमने जीतना बंद किया.
Yeah.
1983 के बाद 19 साल हम कुछ नहीं जीते. बराबर?
Yeah. हम्म.
19 साल कुछ नहीं जीते हम.
नहीं, पर तब
फिर
आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट्स कितनी थी? हर 2
जो
साल
भी
तो एक
है.
नहीं थी ना. नहीं, अरे क्या, एवरी 4 इयर्स देयर वाज वन, सो यू ओनली हैड 4 शॉट्स फ्रॉम
तो हम लोग
1983 टू
2014 का फाइनल हारे एक आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट का, 15 का सेमीफाइनल, 16 का सेमीफाइनल, 17 का फाइनल, 19 का सेमीफाइनल, 21 डब्ल्यूटीसी का फाइनल अगेन, 22 का हम
ये,
लोग फिर सेमीफाइनल हारे ये अपना टी20 वर्ल्ड कप का, और 2023 का डब्ल्यूटीसी
और वो
फाइनल
तो
हारे.
नॉकआउट्स. वो
हाँ.
2021 वर्ल्ड वी डिडंट इवन मेक इट टू द क्वालिफाई द सेमीफाइनल्स ना, वो जो
या
यूएई में हुआ था. बट द रीजन आई से
वो
इट इज
एक ही
बिकॉज़
है,
हम लोग.
वो एक एक्सेप्शन था, वो एक एक्सेप्शन था आदित्य.
हाँ.
On average, this team, when it comes to ICC tournaments, I'm
हम्म.
talking about Team India. I don't care about individuals, right? This is Team India. On average, Team India since 2013, if you look at most ICC tournaments, makes it in the last 4 or not.
करेक्ट.
Most.
मोस्ट
ठीक
करेक्ट.
है? So this over emotional Indian cricket fan rant that this team is third class. How can a team be third class when it consistently goes into the
ओके.
top 4 of
So
every tournament that
let
ICC
me
has?
ask you, let me tell you how the problem is, and here is the thing, and which a lot of people won't admit, that there are the top 6 or top 7 in cricket, then there is a delta, and there is the next 6, right? But the top 6 and 7 are brilliant, and the next 6 and 7 are good for like 1 or 2 upset victories, right? Like everyone remembers that Sri Lanka beat England in the 2019 World Cup, right? But what did Sri Lanka do in other games, right? Was Sri Lanka good enough to win more games and stuff? No, they weren't good enough to win, right? So where at least I've convinced one person at least of my theory, but no.
No, I
um
agree with you. Team India is RCB
is
in
the RCB.
ICC
But
tournaments, but this
so
is not a
wo-
bad team,
so
is what I'm trying to say.
no, it's not. It's not. But the problem is, in those top 6 teams, we are the third or the fourth best, and that's what hurts
No,
people.
this is also where I will not agree. I'll tell you why.
You think
We
England's
have
white
some.
ball team? We are better than England's white ball team.
We are not better than England's white ball team, but we are better than Australia's white ball team overall.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Third or fourth best. So England and New Zealand are better than us in white ball cricket.
Yeah,
And
in white ball T20, look, we have consistently in the last 8 years, where have we ranked in the ICC rankings overall?
Hmm.
We
But
are
see,
either
that is
number
also,
one,
but
number
that is
two,
also
number one, number
skewed.
two.
The problem is ICC rankings give equivalent weightage to home and away victories, right? And India has actually done very well in terms of bilateral series, right? I actually think this team has an issue
अरे
when
मगर
it comes to.
bilaterals are the qualifying criteria for the rest of the
No. So
ODI and Test,
I'm
na?
coming to that. So I'm saying they are not bad at talent. I think there is a serious issue when it comes to performing under pressure, crunch. Maybe it's too much pressure.
That
Maybe
is the key. So bilateral में India is a different beast, and
Hmm.
ICC में up to the semi-final India is a different beast.
Yes. And
India in bilateral series and India in ICC tournaments qualifier up to semi-final are different teams, and then suddenly in the semi-final and final India को कुत्ता काट जाता है.
बट फिर देखो 2015 और 19 में दोनों में वही हो. 2019 में वी वर अ वेरी डोमिनेंट टॉप 3 इन द वर्ल्ड कप, राइट? and then the top three get 5-3 in the semifinals, and then suddenly we are questioning why are we playing with three wicket keepers in the playing 11 in the World Cup against New Zealand, right, in the semifinals. So so that's your problem again, in the moving conditions against the moving ball. In the Sharjah thing, again, the top three, Dubai Sharjah World Cup, wo jo 2021 mein hua tha, the top three is an issue. The problem with India is, I think we have a team good enough to make it there, but to take it over that line, we need to make certain, bloodletting decisions, where the issue was Sharma, Kohli, and Rahul cannot be in the top three, or Sharma, Kohli, and someone else can't. There has to be some Dhoni, probably in
ये रोहित की
2019
फर्स्ट
World Cup.
फाइनल लॉस थी, पता है तुझे?
या
रोहित
बेचारा
की
कैप्टन ही तो
फाइनल
अभी बचा
स्ट्रीक
है.
है, आईपीएल फाइनल 2013, चैंपियंस लीग
Yeah,
CLT20 फाइनल इन 2013, फिर आईपीएल इन
yeah.
2015, आईपीएल 2017, एशिया कप फाइनल 2018, निदाहास फाइनल 2018, आईपीएल अगेन 2019, आईपीएल अगेन 2020. ये पहली बार रोहित लॉस्ट अ फाइनल.
Let me tell you. But looking at the issues that Team India has, I personally see it very hard to. I mean, I find it very hard to believe that we'll make it to the final of this World Cup, 50 over World Cup that's coming up.
Yeah, we'll again go to the semi-final and lose. मैं भी यही बोल रहा
मुझे
हूँ.
मुझे तो मुझे तो सेमीफाइनल्स का भी अभी डाउट लग रहा है.
नहीं आ जाएंगे, मैं
Because
तेरे को बोल रहा हूँ यार. अगेन दे प्ले रीजनेबली वेल इनफ टू गो टू द सेमीफाइनल, एंड देन दे हैव दैट वन बैड डे. उनको कुत्ता काट जाता है, और कुत्ता काट जाता है, और फिर फैंस चिल्लाते रहते हैं. मगर लुक, व्हेन यू आर एनालाइजिंग समथिंग, यू हैव टू लुक एट द ओवरऑल डेटा ना. यू कांट जस्ट लुक एट ऑड इंस्टेंसेस. दैट्स नॉट
not.
एनालिसिस. देन दैट इज इमोशनल फैफिंग.
Yeah, but ICC knockouts, it seems like there is a there is an there is an issue कि ICC knockouts में हम लोग क्या करते हैं. But before we get to the ICC knockouts, let me finish up the second innings topic of Indian team, right? Why is the issue happening? The first innings, you are essentially 152 for 6, and Rahane and Shardul bail you out, and you go up to 296. Okay. The second innings, you are 178 for 3, and then you collapse for 234. Right? So अगर आपके top 4 71 में चले जाते, the bottom 7 also get dismissed in 67
Boss,
runs.
can we now appreciate the Rishabh Pant value?
Exactly.
Boss,
I was coming to
AS
that.
Bharat can't bat. Now this was his
And
fifth
Ravi,
test
and
match.
no, and the brilliance of Indian team who said, oh, we can't play Ashwin because Shardul Thakur and Ravindra Jadeja are great all-rounders. Both scored zeros in the second innings. And
Boss,
before jump,
ये आता है ऋषभ पंत इज अ वंस इन अ जेनरेशन प्लेयर. कि अभी पंत का रिकॉर्ड तू देख, ठीक है, उसने कितनी बार हमको मैचों में बचाया है. उसने 100, he made a 100 at Oval. He made a 92
yes,
at Hyderabad. He was 159 not out against Australia, 97 against Australia in Sydney, 89 not out Gabba, 91 at Chennai, 101 at that Narendra Modi
if
Stadium, 100 versus South
if
Africa,
Pant
100 versus England in Oval, 93 versus Bangladesh. Boss, he is literally our bailout machine. We
if
every
Pant
time he is
stays
our
fit,
motion.
if Pant stays fit for 5 years, I can make a prediction. He will go down in Test match cricket as a far better keeper than even MS Dhoni.
And Pant has to be our next red ball captain. Khatam.
Exactly.
He
And
is
I'm
our
talking
next
5 years.
red ball captain.
I'm not saying he's better than Dhoni right now. I think Dhoni's record is far better right now in red ball cricket. But for what
And
he's
oh my
done,
God, can I also rant about this, Adit? What is
yes.
this Dhoni greatest after a test match loss? Excuse me. Has anybody seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni's record as a test match captain? Boss, Virat and Ganguly are your greatest test match captains.
So
Greatest.
I tweet about Ganguly. I tweeted this. I sent you that tweet, and it was it's. I still keep getting hate and discussion on that tweet. मैंने ये about the second day I tweeted that it takes sort of Ganguly to have that pedigree to essentially that aggression to have bat first on Headingley in 2002 and pick Kumble and Harbhajan both in the lineup because I'm going to go with my best team. Right. So I said this is why Team India either I'm fine with them not batting first, them bowling first. That's fine. But what Ricky Ponting said, you only picked a team for the first innings. You did not. The problem with the Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma era for me so far has been the timidity in Team India. See, Virat Kohli, jaisa bhi captain tha, and I've criticized him, you had the aggression, right? So that
Yes.
papered over a lot of things, right? Now, what you said is right, that in 2021, when we talk about this team being good enough, Siraj was your first change bowler in England. You had
Yeah.
Shami and Bumrah bowling, right? That's what made you good. Right now, Siraj is, you're not your first change bowler. Siraj is your opening bowler. And I don't think Siraj has that control right now
And he
to
bowled his
be the
heart out.
opening
So
bowler.
I would not give him any
No, but
slack for that.
Kushal, no, no, not at all. And he's a youngster. He still has to be developed. But what I'm saying is, you need a certain way. You the first session of a test match, you have that, and you need that Anderson Broad type control, right? Shami is already there yet, right? So Shami went well with. I think we have to groom Siraj to get there. So it'll take a while for him to get there. So that's why a third fast bowler has to be very crucial, whom we select. But coming back to what you said, that Virat Kohli at least had aggression in him, right? And and those criticisms that I had for Kohli stand. But this combination of Dravid and Sharma, like, opting a safety first approach, going by weather conditions and picking four fast bowlers because, oh my god, what if barish ho gayi oval mein, and it didn't rain. It only rained after the test match. It rained during tea, or something, or day 5, but we were already done by lunch. So what were they thinking? And KS Bharat, really? KS What do these guys see? Like, why KS Bharat cannot bat, man? He misread the ball of misread the length of the ball. He misread the way the ball was moving in the movement of the ball in the first innings, and was bowled to Scott Boland. Then in the second innings, I think he gets out to Lyon. Yeah, KS Bharat is just not cut out for Test match cricket. So you either pull a rabbit out of the hat and get a younger wicketkeeper from the Ranji Trophy. If you don't want to play Ishan Kishan, I completely understand. Ishan Kishan's technique against the moving ball is a suspect, but I don't think he's a worse batsman than KS Bharat if he's coming at number 7. And if not anything, if at number 7 he comes and smashes a cameo of like 40 or 30 balls, it's still better than what Mr. Bharat is giving to the Indian team. Like, it's literally that bad. Like, I think Saha should be in our test team, but we clearly have moved on from Saha. So
Yeah, see, we
let's get
dropped
real.
Saha. I understand, but why couldn't we bring him for this one-off test match? What is this, monumental ego of the Indian team management that refuses to
Dekho, here is
address
the
this?
problem. I'm going to say this: we can't drop Kohli and we can't pick Saha for some reason, and both seem to be an ego issue.
I
If
mean, it's
if
stupid.
if
It's stupid.
Kohli should be rested in the again for the West Indies series, I have no doubt in my mind, for the Test
ये
matches.
थोड़ा
No
सा
doubt
और
in my
डिस्कशन
mind.
करना आई थिंक आकाश चोपड़ा ने एक इंटरेस्टिंग ट्वीट किया था
Hmm.
um, आकाश ने दिखाया है कि in the last 5 years India have played 27 tests outside Asia, won 10,
Hmm.
lost 14,
Hmm.
drawn 3. 400 plus totals by batters are only 5 times. Bowlers dismissing opponents within 250 22 times. Akash said, "This is why what I was referring to in the earlier tweet. Bowlers have stood up time and again. Batting hasn't as much." Now, Akash does have a point, but honestly, India is struggling only and only for one reason. And
Hmm.
when your greatest batsman, arguably the
Hmm.
greatest batsman after Sachin, is Kohli, I mean, we can't debate that. This is not up for debate. Look at
Hmm.
the number 4.
Yeah.
This is it, boss. Virat is struggling. And because Virat is struggling, we are struggling. You cannot have your number 4 struggling. Let's just face it.
Yes, you cannot.
And it
You
doesn't mean
cannot.
Virat ko drop kar do, Virat ko nikal do. No, Virat needs to do something.
Can you
Virat
show that
needs to
stat
get
again? Can
his
you show
act.
that stat again, Kushal?
Sure, sure, sure. I will.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go. Keep go. Yeah.
लुक, बाबर
What
आजम
would
की
you say?
एवरेज के बारे में मैं ज्यादा बोलना नहीं चाहता, वो सपाट पाकिस्तान की पिचों पे रन बना रहा है, बट स्टिल ही इज मेकिंग दोज रन्स. Steve Smith is the fair comparison, Joe Root is the fair comparison, and Angelo Matthews is the fair comparison.
By the way, you take out that 186. You know what his average drops to?
Yeah, वही तो दुख हो रहा है मेरे को. विराट, and can we now address the monkey or the elephant in the room? That decision to have those absurd freaking pitches in India, have we destroyed the batting confidence of all our players?
A, our play those absurd pitches don't make sense because our players cannot play spin the way
No, no,
the players of the
nobody can,
past can.
boss. You think, यार ये बोलने की बातें होती हैं. You think anybody could have made runs in those spitting cobras? Rohit Sharma has made 200s and shown you can, apparently. Rohit Sharma has.
No, but Rohit Sharma also played a Sehwag innings, right? Like there was this pitch, there was this test match against Sri Lanka. I remember that series where Murli and Mendis were just taking our wickets for fun, right? And India scored like 300 odd, and out of that Sehwag scored 200. So can you say it's a good wicket to bat? No, Sehwag scored about more than half your people's runs, right? So that just means Rohit Sharma and Sehwag both played freakishly amazing innings, right? Or Rishabh Pant and stuff. The point is that is not a fair wicket, and we've said this time and again. A wicket that takes turn on day one is going to get worse on day five. A wicket that is seeming on day one gets better on day five. You never have seeming wickets that get worse on day five. They just, that doesn't happen. That's just sadly how that is how it is. So in India, what it used to be was the wicket was great for batting on day one and two, and then slowly it started deteriorating, and then अब तो इंडिया में day 5 तक टेस्ट मैचेस भी नहीं पहुंचते. The reason why everyone enjoyed the test match was India was partly in the game by 10% chance at the end of day 4. What was the last greatest series played in India that a neutral fan enjoyed watching? Our comparison to 2005 Ashes was probably 2001 India versus Australia, and in terms of skill set, probably it was 2000 the Australia coming back, and you had those VVS Lakshman doing that last wicket stand at Mohali, then England defeating us 2-1 in 2012 or something. But all those wickets were fair wickets.
We have
Any team
destroyed
could beat
our
us.
batsmen. We have destroyed our batsmen in this quest for qualifying for the World Test Championship. Harsha had a very interesting point in the last video after the WTC with DK. Harsha said they're not going to change the pitches because the World Test Championship format incentivizes winning. So if you're going to incentivize winning, you're going to get more of the same. And Harsha does have a point. Harsha was not defending anything. So this is your next WTC 25 fixtures. This is a schedule, Adit. So India is going to play New Zealand, England, Bangladesh at home. And India is going to play Australia, West Indies, South Africa away.
It's stupid. The World Test Championship just doesn't make sense to me. If you are having a World Test Championship and you have to find a way for India and Pakistan to play, I mean, if you don't want to play them, don't play them. Don't have an ICC tournament. This is nonsense. This idiotic thing only happens because we are not playing Pakistan, right? Because we are not going to play. We imagine
it has come to a point that I don't understand this rubbish at all. We play them in hockey. We play them in kabaddi. We play them in carom. We'll play everything. But men's cricket, we will not play.
I don't understand this. मैं day one से बोल रहा हूँ, if you don't want to play Pakistan, don't play it as a national policy. या खेलना है तो सब में खेलो.
But you are going to play them in every single freaking thing other than cricket. It makes no sense. Now it is a joke. Honestly, this India policy of not playing Pakistan is a joke. I support the idea of India wanting to play Pakistan, but not in Pakistan for obvious security reasons.
That's a geopolitical question. आप दुबई में खेलो, इंग्लैंड में खेलो, उज्बेकिस्तान में खेलो, I don't care.
But this nonsense of no, we will not play them, period, is ridiculous.
I have had this stance for the last 15 years that if you want to stop, you stop completely. If you want to play completely. ये बीच का मत करो. Because what
अच्छा.
that we'll play in ICC tournament. Pakistan, okay, if you are saying that after we are 26-11 we're not playing, 3 years after 26-11 they are coming to Mohali to play the semi-final, right? So Pakistan is playing, and there was no sort of crowd trouble in 2011. So have a policy. And what that is happening is we come up with these nonsensical world test championship cycles, right? Where about we are not playing two teams, we're playing two teams. We should play, all 8 teams should play each other, right? I actually
Exactly.
think we
I
should
think
have.
this is ridiculous. Every team should play each other. It is not a World Test Championship otherwise.
Yeah, so if you want to be cricket to be taken seriously, thoda serious काम करो.
Yeah.
Don't be this
I
silly.
think
And
India is being childish in this. You can easily ask Pakistan and India to have a home and away series kind of a thing in Sharjah, और वहां पे 3 टेस्ट मैच खेलो, because this is now getting it is now reaching absurd
yeah,
proportions. That's
and
what.
and by the way, if they are playing in ICC tournaments, World Test Championship is an ICC tournament. Just
Yes.
FYI.
Yeah,
So
FYI.
so, so I
It's
was
just
like,
ridiculous, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about enough of the WTC. Now this is
Acha,
the tour.
we'll talk about Ashes, but one last point, Kushal. If Harsha was saying that if BCCI won't change pitches because of World Test, are BCCI controls the ICC, man. So BCCI should change World Test Championship if they
Yeah,
feel so strongly about it.
yeah.
Sorry,
Okay,
go
so
on.
the
Yeah,
India tour of West Indies dates are announced.
yeah.
12th to 16th July, first test in Windsor Park, Dominica. 20th to 24th July, second test, Queen's Park Oval, Trinidad. And then after
Mhm.
that, we have 3 one-day internationals. 27th July, 29th July, 1st August. And then we have T20 matches, 5 T20s, 3rd August, 6th August, 8th August, 12th August, 13th August. आदित्य, तू और मैं जा सकते हैं देखने यार ये? मैंने अभी रियलाइज किया.
We absolutely can. So we should
हाँ यार,
plan,
ये तो
or
हमारे
maybe,
बाजू में है. मैंने अभी रियलाइज किया कि ये 20 जुलाई से 24 जुलाई का तू और मैं जा सकते हैं ट्रिनिडेड में टेस्ट मैच देखने.
or the 12th and 13th T20s are in America, in
हाँ,
Florida.
मैंने अभी रियलाइज किया. जाना है?
जा सकते हैं. We
फ्लोरिडा
could
में
go
है यार.
live live
जाते हैं, चल.
live at the stadium
चल
or
जाते हैं.
something.
जाते हैं, जाते हैं, जाते हैं, चल.
हम
12 और
हम
13
अपनी
अगस्त
हम अपनी
हम
कमेंट्री
अपनी टूर
चलाएंगे
प्लानिंग
स्टेडियम में
पॉडकास्ट
से.
पे कर रहे हैं. मैंने तो अभी देखा, ये तो फोर्ट
No,
ये
it
तो
is
फ्लोरिडा में है 2 मैच. जाना पड़ेगा मेरे
Florida
को.
में.
आ रहा हूं मैं.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I personally wanted to go, and it's on a weekend, so who knows, we may do, or वहां से live विश्लेषण करेंगे, or we will
Yes,
rant live with
yes,
with a pint of beer or something. I don't know
yes.
what.
Yes. And you know,
So
my good friend, I won't take his name. वो गधा, he's going to India. He stays in Florida, so he's not there. I don't think he realizes Team India is playing. उसको मैं पूछने
Team
वाला
India
हूँ
is
तो.
playing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll tell him.
So no, but let's face it. This is going to be a fun tournament. I think it's
Okay,
good that
test
Team
team
India.
for West Indies tour. चल बता.
Okay, I'll tell you the playing 11 only. फिर team वीम आपको जो भी करना वो करो. I think Rohit Sharma will play, obviously, because they've said that he's going to be the captain. So it's going to be Gillen Sharma in the opening. One down should be Pujara. Kohli will play at 4, but in my opinion, Kohli should be rested, and they should try Rahane at 4 and some youngster at 5. That some youngster could be Yashasvi Jaiswal or Sarfaraz Khan or Priyank Panchal or anyone. You can. There are 2 or 3. Abhimanyu Ishwaran is also there for number 5. Number 6, I actually think Hanuma Vihari should be given a shot. Number 7, you should have Ishan Kishan. Number 8, you would have Ravichandran Ashwin. And for 9, 10, 11, you will definitely have Shami and Siraj. Your third fast bowler should be, if Arshdeep is match fit, you should try Arshdeep, or you try a younger fast bowler, that right now you're grooming. Like I said, Kuldeep Sen, or there are many other options, but this is a great time to try a third fast bowler in Test match cricket who's been doing decently well in Ranji Trophy.
Okay, so as per PTI, this was the major talking point for West Indies series selection. Place of Pujara and Umesh in Test matches, Jaiswal and Mukesh for Test matches. IPL performers are likely to be rewarded now. Jaiswal, Ruturaj, Rinku, Jitesh, T20, or youngsters score to continue in T20 under Hardik.
Those 4, I absolutely. Jitesh Sharma should be a T20 keeper instead of Ishan Kishan. I completely agree.
Until
I
Rishabh Pant
mean,
is not
of
fully fit.
course, Rishabh Pant is your first choice in every format. No doubt about it.
क्या
I
प्लेयर है
mean,
हमारे पास बोलो.
yeah, I mean that's like saying Australians saying Gilchrist injured hai, but when Adam Gilchrist comes back, like I mean, I'm not comparing Punt to Gilchrist, but that's the relevance he has in our team right now. So no, but Jitesh Sharma, oh man, what a gun! That guy is brilliant as a finisher, and he gives you that 25 of six. And in of
Will
course
KL
ODIs and
Rahul
T
be injury free for this tour?
Mm,
I don't think so, right? He had a
है पर
serious
उसको
injury, na?
हाँ पर उसको शायद I don't know if KL Rahul
No,
plays
what
then they
if
will take him
KL,
to test
boss,
match cricket.
for the time being, until Rishabh does not get fully fit, just think, hear me
Hmm.
out. What if we make KL the keeper batsman and replace him instead of KS Bharat?
KL is
बॉस जो भी है
KL
केएल राहुल कम
KL
से कम
cannot keep
50
wickets
60
in test.
70 80 90 बॉल तो खेल लेता था.
But KL ki match fitness in terms of keeping for test match cricket I haven't seen. So if he's test match fit, because that is, see, Dravid also was our keeper in 2002-3 for one day cricket, right? But Dravid
Hmm.
was not a good keeper for test match
No, I was
cricket.
just
KL
asking a
Rahul, that's
question. That's all.
no, I don't think there was that's a thing. But what is interesting is I think now is the time that Rohit Sharma should be told that you are the ODI captain till 2023 World Cup, and after that you should be Hardik Pandya should be the captain, and T20s mein to I think Hardik Pandya should be the captain. If
I
you
think
really want,
Hardik Pandya has to be the captain in white ball cricket, period, for the next cycle after the 50 over World Cup. रोहित को बोलना चाहिए कि
but
सर
मैं
नमस्ते.
सच बात बोलूं Kushal, I think we are only saying that because we are emotional and we are like, oh, Rohit should deserve to the World Cup. If you really want to win the World Cup and really want to be aggressive, make Hardik the
हार्दिक को
captain
डाल
for the
दो.
World Cup.
हार्दिक को डाल दो.
If India was
I
Australia,
won't complain.
Hardik Pandya would have been the captain by now for the World Cup.
I think
That's just
so. This is, I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but I believe for the two test match series against West Indies, मैं white ball पे people must have noticed I never comment. I still am at my heart. I'm only a red ball guy. So white ball mein I genuinely don't care also beyond a point. But red ball mein I would say we should not tinker with the top five. Now is not the time to tinker with the top five. Instead of what worries me is our wicket keeper. That KS Bharat is not even a 50% replacement of Rishabh Pant. If KL is not fit, I think we have to हाथ जोड़ के request Vridhiman Saha कि अंकिल वापस आ जाओ. आप कम से कम कुछ तो करोगे. आई थिंक अगर केएल से प्रॉब्लम है, आई एक्चुअली थिंक केएल राहुल एज अ विकेट कीपर बैट्समैन एट नंबर 6 7 इज फाइन. रविचंद्रन अश्विन हैज टू बी योर नेक्स्ट टेस्ट मैच कैप्टन. I think
वो तो
Rohit
मैं
should
डे
not
वन
be
से
your
बोल
test
रहा
match
हूँ.
captain. You
रविचंद्रन
remember
अश्विन
you and I
because
had asked for Ravichandran Ashwin to be our captain even when Rohit was picked. We were like,
yeah,
Ravichandran.
I think Ashwin should be the captain. I think Kumble was a great captain, and Ashwin is in the same mindset as Kumble.
Ashwin should be your captain for the entire WTC cycle now running to 2025 WTC
Exactly.
finals.
And Pant is his deputy. Pant can
Yes.
be the deputy. So if Ashwin is injured or Ashwin
And
wants to
great
take a
news,
rest
Pant
or
is walking
something,
steps very comfortably. आज पंत ने Instagram पे वीडियो डाला, जो ट्विटर पे मैंने देखा उसका इंस्टा का वीडियो. I
yeah.
don't know how many people saw that. So it's great news. Pant is making a fantastic recovery. Don't be surprised Rishabh will be back in action from January next year. I
And
think the
as
way his
much
rehab is going.
and as much as it hurts for me to say it, first
There
of
are
all, it's
only
good
two
that
people who can be captain for the next 2 years. One is Ravichandran Ashwin, and one, I know people may not like what I'm saying, Ajinkya Rahane.
yeah, no, I was about to say Ajinkya Rahane, absolutely. So it either has to be Rahane or Ashwin, and Pant as the deputy. We because we should make only the person who's about to lead the next. So don't do like Ashwin is the captain and Rahane is deputy. That's not good. It should be either one of them as captain and the other one as deputy.
No,
But
मगर अभी पंत तो ये पूरा साल तो है ही नहीं ना भाई.
at the risk of angering a lot of people, let's face it, Kushal. First of all, good that Team India has a 1 month break. The players deserve a break, for the thing. Um, uh, but I'm really excited for two evenly matched teams in Test match cricket now. The Ashes,
Yes. Let's talk about
because
the Ashes now. Enough of this bollocks. Team India
yeah,
का.
let's talk about the test series that we are really looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
enough of
India
Team
West
India.
Indies.
Let's move on.
The Ashes. And the fact is, India, the reason why we look forward to is because Australia and England have kept that rivalry. वो एक दो you know the stupidity that India did when England came, that एक test match को काट के we'll have 2-3 extra T20s because to prepare for the T20 World Cup. It is
Idiots.
bullshit. Australia or England would never do that. कि दो तीन टेस्ट मैच निकाल के वनडे निकाल. If you are serious about keeping a professional rivalry, and when India and Pakistan resume to play, what BCCI does is हर 6 महीने एक सीरीज रख देंगे पाकिस्तान के साथ. So that entire rivalry, that anticipation goes out. BCCI should actually learn from England on how to do the Ashes, and how Ashes के 2031 के venues have already been announced today. India also knows where it's playing in England in 2025 and 2029.
भाई
India
साहब,
on
बीसीसीआई इतनी निकम्मी है, वो अभी तक 50 ओवर वर्ल्ड कप की डेट्स बराबर से दे नहीं रहा है
भाई
लोगों को.
50 over World Cup, which is happening in 4 months, and you want to be the powerhouse of world cricket. I mean, what a
क्या
bloody
है
joke.
यार, यूजलेस लोग हैं यार, यूजलेस लोग हैं.
Seriously. So, but anyways, talking
अरे
about
people in the west have to plan their vacations 4 months in advance. What nonsense is
you
BCCI doing? It shows they don't care about
exactly.
anything other than the IPL anymore.
अरे मैं खुद की बात कर रहा हूँ कुशल. I wanted to go come see the World Cup, right? In India, I was thinking if India Pakistan is happening in Ahmedabad, it will be nice to see it there, or the final or something. I can't plan. And first of all, the World Cup is so freaking long. They have a 45-day World Cup that no one can watch the World Cup in the entirety. भाई दुनिया में सबके पास टाइम नहीं है to take 45 days off. Right. So first of all, the duration should be less, and this insanity that BCCI is doing is just crazy. But anyways, back to the Ashes. This,
Okay,
in
I'm
my
pulling up
opinion,
the England team squad. तब तक तू बोल.
this is going to be one of the closest Ashes, if not the best in a long time, maybe potentially since 2005, because of just how brilliant they have been playing. Right. England has made, see, when we talk about Ridhiman Saha, right, and stuff, let me tell you what England has done. Jack Leach was injured. So what did Ben Stokes do? He sent Moeen Ali a text message. Moeen Ali came out of retirement at the age of 35 to play for England in the Ashes. Good teams do that. When they have a hole, when you have a Rishabh Pant size hole, you don't just see कि oh मैं KS Bharat को ले आऊंगा, ईशान किशन को.
You
No,
get
you have a
Saha,
great
bro.
keeper. You get
You get
Saha.
Saha.
You get a good
Saha.
keeper.
I know what you're saying.
So this is the thing, and Moeen is the same age as Saha. He's almost 36, right? So it's not that. But for England, the form of that, the baseball, what they've been doing, and before people jump about that, oh, Sehwag played baseball, Gilchrist. No, this is different. The entire
This is the
team
whole
except
team, damn it.
the whole team except probably Joe Root, जिसको बोला है कि भाई तू
So
बस you be Joe
these
Root.
are the squads for the first and second. Obviously, ये crawl ये एक चेंज हो गया ना, वो स्पिनर आ गया मोइन अली इसमें बस.
Moeen Ali. So
हाँ.
and Moeen Ali, in my opinion, walks into the team, right? So you have the openers. You have Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett again playing brilliantly as openers. For one down, they'll probably have either. I don't know if Joe Root is going to be playing two down. If he does that,
So I
then
think England has also announced their team to face Australia. It's Ben Duckett, Zach Crawley, Ollie Pope, Joe
Ollie Pope,
Root,
exactly.
Harry Brook, Ben Stokes, Johnny Bairstow is back as a wicket keeper and a batsman. Moeen Ali, Stuart Broad, Ollie Robinson, James Anderson. So no hardcore fast bowler.
No hardcore fast bowler, because where are the first two tests happening where the ball seams around? They are essentially quintessentially English conditions. The first test match is happening in Birmingham. It will swing, and there is going to be a little bit in for the spinners as well in the second innings, right? So that is the reason, and it's going to be a little bit of rain. The interesting thing, I was looking at the weather. It's going to be a little bit of rainy, but it's also going to be a little humid. I'm surprised by the exclusion of Mark Wood, but the thing is, Ollie Robinson, he's played. By the way, Ollie Robinson plays for under Pujara in Sussex in the county
I
championship.
know.
Ollie Robinson has been a gun this year for England, and James Anderson, to matlab, Chacha ji at the age of 40 is playing better than many fast bowlers at the age of 26. If you are telling me that Indian fast bowlers have fitness worse than James Anderson, they need to go and
No,
I
but
don't know, put
James
their heads in
Anderson
a bucket.
literally plays only one format of the game now.
That's fine. So why can't we mentor fast bowlers for that? BCCI has the
Yeah, so
money.
India has to make a rule. You only play two formats. You cannot be a three format player if you're a bowler.
Exactly, or and pay them money for that.
Yeah,
So
pay
anyway,
them money for three formats, but make them play two formats.
play two formats. So, but
Two
I think Ollie
formats,
Pope
and the
is,
third format you play should be an exception when you literally run out of every other player because of injury.
and England, even if the top five don't bowl and a couple of them can actually bowl, I think Zach Crawley or so one of the persons could actually roll their arm over, but or Joe Root obviously can bowl, but even if you take out Joe Root, because he Joe Root is as useful as probably a Sehwag or Tendulkar were in the Test team. He's very.
Mhm.
You have Ben Stokes, James Anderson, Ollie Robinson,
Yeah, but will Ben Stokes
Stuart.
bowl?
No, he will. He will for the Ashes. He will. You bet he will. Uh, but will
No,
he
no,
be
but
needed to bowl?
he will, and he should, because he's going to be bowling a lot of no balls and shit like that because he's barely prepared, right?
He is, but no, but that's what I'm saying. Even if Ben Stokes doesn't bowl, you have Moeen, you have James Anderson, Stuart Broad, Ollie Robinson, you have Joe Root who can bowl. England at least has 5-6 bowlers. So England
Mhm.
is covered when it comes to that. I don't know, has Australia released their 11 yet?
Yeah, it's going to be the 11 that played in the World Test Championship final.
I was
Yeah, there's
just
not
going to
going to be
say
any
it's
change.
good. Any going to be changed because I know there was a lot of debate if Scott Boland should be dropped for a faster bowler or something, or like Michael Neser, or if Josh
They're going
Hazelwood
to
is
play
fit. I
Scott
don't
Boland.
care if Josh Hazelwood is running 5 minute like to 8 minute miles. Scott Boland has to play. And
बॉस स्कॉट पोलैंड के साथ इंग्लैंड ही जस्टिस करेगी क्योंकि वो उसको मारेगी बिकॉज ही बोल्स एट अ लेंथ. फिर उसका कीपर
not
आगे
just that.
आएगा टू मेक श्योर दैट दे डोंट कम डाउन द ट्रैक. Let's see. It's
No,
going to be a
no,
lot of
no.
fun.
Kushal, I'll tell you something. You want to know the difference in Indian and Australian thinking? Scott Boland bowls brilliantly line and length. So guess what? He opens the bowling in the second innings because they see what he does in the first innings. There is no ego about what someone does or what someone doesn't do. Are we? Is India ready enough to make such quick changes and stuff like that to our bowling lineup? I don't know yet, but Australia is, and England right now under Ben Stokes is right. So by the way, I saw a bit of Josh Tongue who played against Ireland. Josh Tongue also seems to be a very good bowler. Granted,
हाँ,
it was
उसने
against
डेब्यू में
Ireland.
5 विकेट्स ली ना.
Huh. Granted, it was against. There was actually a very heartwarming story I heard about Josh Tongue, where someone actually put in a bet about 100 pounds or something like that at crazy odds a few years ago, like 10, 15, that this guy is going to play international cricket. And 2 weeks ago, they encashed that bet and got like £1,000 or £10,000 or something. It's a very endearing story about a kid. But coming back to England and Australia, I think there are three things that are going to be very different. This is the earliest the Ashes has ever been played in England. It starts with June, typically because that too to preserve the 100 that happens in September or August. So there was a
Mhm.
lot of controversy whether what will be the conditions and so forth, but the conditions, so it seems to be the English summer has set in a little bit before, so it's going to be a little bit of humid, a little bit of rain, thodi thand bhi aayegi, but it's going to be good conditions to be playing cricket. There'll be a little bit of spin as you've seen. um, the second point is that the ECB has actually kept the sanctity of the Ashes with the way they've promoted the test matches and so forth, and how they've kept the squads and everything. Every player has been told that they have to be available for the Ashes, so that is there. And the third thing is the broadcasting. If you can pull up a list of the Sky Sports commentators for Ashes 2023, I mean, it is spectacular. They are not going to repeat the commentators or something, but
Ian
these are
Ward,
the
Nasir Hussain, Mike Atherton, Ricky Ponting, Mark Taylor, Mel Jones, Owen Morgan, Kevin Peterson, Kumar Sangakkara, Mark Butcher, Dinesh Karthik, Andrew Strauss. Lord's Test only.
Yeah, Andrew Strauss is only Lord's Test, but it's fantastic lineup. They are young voices. They are, they have been doing very well. There are English Australia, but there are also neutral voices. I think Sangha is a great neutral voice. Dinesh Karthik has been doing brilliant in that. And this is just that Sky Sports. BBC has an even better lineup with Jonathan Agnew, Isha Gua, and all of them. Alison Mitchell and all of them are going to be on BBC. I'm saying if this is what you have for a marquee series, right? Uh, we we unfortunately for
BBC
India
में है
Australia.
Michael Vaughan, Alistair Cook, Phil Tufnell, Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie, Ebony Rainford, Brent, Vic Marks, and Hartley, and Andy Zoltman returning as scorer. That's what they've
Yeah,
said.
score. Andy Zoltzman is absolutely hilarious. He is one of the best cricket satirists ever, Andy Zoltzman. And these are again BBC Cricket. There are TMS commentators. My point is, it's a stunning commentary lineup, and you could see the difference in commentary when Nasir Hussain, Ricky Ponting were commentating, and some of our Indian commentators were. For India Australia series, we had Murli Karthik, Deep Das Gupta, Ajit
Yeah, we
Agarkar
have
in
a
our
culture of sucking up.
yeah.
We have a culture where you can't criticize the team, otherwise your job is at stake.
No, and you don't have pure analysis. You don't
They
have
don't
pure.
they don't like independence.
Yeah.
Face
So,
the facts. It's a cultural issue.
so when you have landmark series, when you have these brilliant series, you need great visuals backed up by great commentary, backed up by this. You take out Ben Stokes's Headingley knock and just pull out that clip about Mark Nicholas, how he called that famous moment of Headingley, right? Like, how many of us know these brilliant, like the India Australia brilliant Kolkata moment? Tony Gregg was the one doing the call. There has not been a single, except for barring Harsha Bogle, and Ravi Shastri having a couple of calls. We don't have that many, landmark calls that people still remember through
Hmm.
the ages. That's for landmark series, you need such things. So, but coming back to the Ashes, what is going to be interesting is usually Australia were the ones playing at 4 runs an over, 5 runs an over. I'm going to miss Shane Warne in the commentary box, because after
Yeah,
a
yeah.
long time, Shane Warne has England playing like Australia, like, as aggressive, and the king would have loved it. Warney would have absolutely given it back to the Englishmen in the commentary box, but Ricky Ponting and Mark Taylor are worthy replacements of that. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win the Ashes? My prediction is England will probably win 3-2.
I think England 2-1. दो मैच
You
एक ड्रॉ
think?
होएगा जेन्युइन और एक वॉश आउट हो जाएगा.
Okay, yes. So let me rephrase. This 3-2 is assuming none of the games get washed out, right? If they, I don't
England
see
wins
a
this
test.
Ashes, and for the first time, I have a stinking feeling that Scott Boland will be dealt with in this series because because Jo- they will realize they will figure Scott Boland out in the first two Test matches because they'll go and hit him. And once you
Yeah.
start hitting, because the one thing about Scott Boland is his length is predictable. He bowls at a predictable length. That's his strength, right?
Yeah,
And
he's like a metronome man. Boom, boom, boom.
he
Ek
just
jagah.
keeps bowling one area. If you're going to bowl one area, then England can hit him also, right? They know it's only coming there. So this is what I am imagining. Alex Carey comes up the wicket, right? Because he has to
Yes.
tackle them going down the track to Scott Boland. See, the rest of the
Hmm.
team, we know what Pat Cummins is going to do. We know what Mitchell Stark is going to do. Scott Boland is
Hmm.
going to be like the differentiating factor in this series. Josh Hazelwood, I don't think so, plays for the first two Test matches. What a
Hmm.
by he will recover. Scott Boland is going to
And
be very interesting. I think England will win 2-1. Australia will be the favorites to win at Lords.
can I tell you who is going to be the X factor for Australia? Nathan Lyon.
आई थिंक नेथन लायन को वो लोग ये लोग इतना नहीं करेंगे. आई थिंक द एक्स फैक्टर इज स्कॉट बोलैंड एंड हाउ स्कॉट बोलैंड एंड इंग्लैंड deal with each other. If Scott
Be-
Boland can adjust to the English conditions and the England batting style and the England aggression, then I think Australia can win the Ashes. Otherwise, I give England 2-1, and they're going to. And even the two matches, the one match that is drawn is going to be Australia manages a draw of a match they were losing.
No, because the reason I say it is it's been a strange English summer, right? मैं Edgbaston की भी
And
weather
also
देखूं,
for
right?
people who think wicket keepers can't come up the stumps for Scott Boland, Alex Carey was standing up to the stumps for Scott Boland in India in the Test matches.
Yeah, no, that they will. But in England, that's what I was looking at. The weather from Friday is strangely it's going to be a little bit of rain, but it's going to be pretty sunny, rain and sun for Birmingham. So if that happens, then Lion does come into play. But let me tell you another thing, Kushal. I was looking at the schedule, right, of the Ashes.
Hmm.
This is how
You
landmark
want me to
series
pull it up?
should be scheduled. No, I mean, yes, if you can pull it up. There is one thing I want to talk to our viewers about. That, this is how the landmark
This is the Ashes
series.
schedule. Pura.
Huh. So let's look at the Ashes schedule. Pura. The first Test match starts on Friday. The second starts on Wednesday. The third on Thursday. The fourth on a Wednesday, and the fifth on a Thursday. All the Test matches have 2 weekend days. Fridays, all the Test matches have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday in them.
Yeah, but that is done in every series now. Now, Adit, even in Border Gavaskar Trophy, we had weekends covered.
No,
Yeah,
not in
yeah.
every Test
Every test match
matches.
had a weekend covered. Every test match had a
No,
weekend covered.
no,
अरे
but
मैच खत्म हो गया वो जल्दी हो गया अलग बात है बे मगर
that, but that's what I'm
मगर
saying.
वीकेंड कवर्ड था.
So that's what I'm saying. But they try to cover the weekend. They try desperately to cover the weekend. But again, this is the problem we have. कि match jaldi khatam ho jate hain. We don't treat them as marquee series, right? एक दिन में, 2 दिन में, things like that happen. Border Gavaskar में this year was a difference, but I think England में नहीं हुआ था, और something एक दो series पहले ही ये नहीं हुआ था. But it's such a good idea that they are doing this, and they are doing it for the local people. But I can guarantee you, when we go to the West Indies, there'll not be a single day-night match that India plays. Why? Because people in India will not wake up to watch the day-night game or something, because it's American Standard Time.
Yeah, but
So what?
boss, at the end of the day, the game runs on eyeballs, right?
No, it doesn't. The game runs on spectators. If you have only five
Yeah,
people
मगर
in the
कौन आता है
stadium,
वेस्ट इंडीज में देखने को क्रिकेट
आएंगे ना
यार?
देखने, आएंगे ना देखने. You have to incentivize. I'm saying कि अगर आप weekend में रखो, and if you keep a day night, the T20 games, the CPL is very well attended in West Indies, because the night games are right. Sabki jobs. I was in Jamaica last year. I was talking to the people in Jamaica. They're like, we love our cricket, but man, we got to go do jobs. We can't just come at 10 in the morning to watch the game, or 10, 11 in the morning to watch the T20 game. And everyone knows, he's like, because of the BCCI, the West Indies plays India at 10 in the morning. We want to watch Virat Kohli bat, but we would rather prefer it's a 6 p.m. start. अगर इंडिया में T20 चल रहा है और कोई 10 बजे खेलेगा, कोई आएगा देखने? No one will come, right? So they need to,
इंडिया में कोई भरोसा नहीं है. इंडिया में रात के 4 बजे भी लोग देखने आ जाएंगे वेले.
you never know. But India West Indies की series में, I would love that they have a couple of night games or something. सुबह उठ के लोग
That I
देखेंगे.
support, because it is not about Indian fans. It should be about West Indies fans.
Exactly, but we
India
don't.
is touring West Indies. West Indies is not touring India.
Exactly. So, but we are playing at the
Like
times we would
Australia,
play in
जब
India.
India tours Australia, Australia doesn't change its time, right? They don't
It
care.
doesn't. England doesn't change its time, but
Yeah.
somehow, because we go to the West Indies and they don't come, and the broadcast is,
So
we play
I
at like
agree.
5 o'clock. Yeah, it's so rubbish, and it's no fun to watch. सुबह 9:30 कौन देखेगा यार यहाँ पे स्टेडियम में जाके गेम
No, I
for
agree with you.
T20
See,
games?
I am with you, but the point is, I told you, it is always driven by these boards don't have financial clout, and then they ask BCCI for paisa, and then BCCI says paisa चाहिए तो ये करो.
But BCCI the thing is, world tournaments are only fun when people come to watch, and not like when they have empty stadiums. But here, I am really looking forward to the Ashes. I think it's going to be great. Ben Stokes has been a brilliant leader. The other X factor for England, in my opinion, apart from Pope and Joe Root, is going to be how Zach Crawley pans out. Zach Crawley is like a younger version of Rohit Sharma. He looks stunning when he plays till he gets out to the most obviously bad shot ever played.
But
So
यार आप मेरे को एक बात बताओ, Zach Crawley barely makes any runs. He still gets in this team because Ben Stokes has said, you're going to play. We just want to make sure you come off in like once in 5 times. That's
yeah,
all they care about. But then this kind of a team management and a team culture produces brilliance. But in India, I
that
mean,
is what
look at the
that,
kind of pressure Indian players go through.
that is what
You
was
can't
told
have
to
that
Virendra.
kind of a thing.
That is what was told to Virender Sehwag, that you go and express yourself. And and of course, then Sehwag was also dropped. But Zach Crawley's batting average right now is 28.26. But in the last in the year,
Yeah, I
and
think he's an
in
ordinary player between you and
you
I.
know, no, that's what I'm saying. So that is why I'm very interested in looking at what he plays, but he looks brilliant when he plays. His shots, his, you know, the when he plays, oh, they are brilliant to watch. Uski ab innings dekho. But the problem is the way he gets out. He gets out in the most innocuous fashion, and this year is like symptomatic of that. If you take out his one not out, he scored 126 in like and if you take out his 56, he scored 70 in 5 innings. So he's averaging 14 this year in the tests, but he's still going to start. And if he gets a 50 in the first test, you bet he's going to play the Ashes. And the reason why Zach Crawley is able to play is, boss, the middle order, number 4, 5, and 6 are absolutely rock solid for England. Bairstow, Stokes, and Root
Root.
are
Root,
in
who is arguably the best
insane
batsman in the
form.
world right now.
Yeah,
Root is
in Test
arguably
cricket.
the
In
best
Test
batsman in the
cricket,
world.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
And
no
what
doubt
do you
about
make
it.
of this selection of Moeen Ali? I was just looking at his numbers against the Aussies, right?
Very, very brave selection. Very, very good selection. I think that
I
extends your batting order.
I
And
don't know, man. Matlab, does that show that England does not have any spinner
no, they don't
outside
have a
of
spinner. They
Jack
don't have a spinner that
Leach?
they trust. No, they don't have a spinner that they trust against the Aussies.
Look, his average is 47.86 with the ball, with an economy rate of 4.33 and a strike rate of 66.2 versus Australia in tests in England. Australia में तो छोड़ दो.
Let's face it, Moeen Ali has been only picked as a because I think the other spinner that they have, I don't even think they have a spinner in their squad.
नहीं, नहीं,
They
if it was about being brave and bold, what about that kid who picked up a 5 on debut? That who was that kid, यार? In Pakistan
The leg
खेला था ना वो?
spinner, Mitch
Yes.
Parkinson.
नहीं, नहीं, पार्किंसन नहीं. He was a Pakistani or Indian origin kid. नाम भूल गया. मुस्लिम बच्चा था.
Oh, Rehan Ahmed.
रेहान अहमद. हाँ.
Yeah,
उसको क्यों नहीं
yeah,
खिलाते
yeah,
फिर?
yeah.
अगर ब्रेव ही बनना है और फ्यूचर ही देखना है और एग्रेशन करनी है तो रेहान अहमद को खिलाते. I just find Mohin Ali's selection baffling.
No, I unko
It's
they
more
want to extend their
safety.
batting lineup till 9 or
I
something
think it's
like
more
that. And
safety.
it's maybe could be. But they have two spinner. They have two spinning options, Moeen Ali and Joe Root. Or quite frankly, they don't think they'll need as much spinning options until the second innings, because they have their fast bowlers Anderson, Broad, and Ollie Robinson should do the trick with Ben Stokes. So England में bowling options एक तो बहुत है ना. But you're right. Maybe they could. I certainly think that Rehan Ahmed could have or some English spinner could have a role to play in the fourth and fifth Test matches, because तब तक wickets पक चुके होंगे, and the fifth Test match is at the Oval, and we'll see how much turn it takes at the Oval on the. But again, Australia has. That's what one loves about Australia. Australia have two attacking spinners. They won't do this part-time rubbish. They'll either have Todd Murphy or Nathan Lyon starting. They won't go with four fast bowlers. That is for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And Australia has all. I'll tell you this, Kushal. A few weeks ago or months ago, I was privileged to be this was a closed door interaction with the ex-coach of Australia, John Buchanan. And it was a wonderful 1 hour talking to him, we could ask him questions and stuff. It was a virtual interaction. So a few friends in Houston arranged that. And one question I always asked John Buchanan was about the spinning. I was like, has Australia always looked at spin as an aggressive option, right? And he was gracious enough to talk about Vaughan, and Shane Warne and John Buchanan is a love story gone on for a long time. But he's always looked at how he's viewed. Australia has always viewed spin as an aggressive option. I was like, England has never viewed spin as an aggressive option. Australia has. India used to. Unfortunately, India has also gone in the same mindset. Can you imagine in the 2000s playing a test without Harbhajan or Kumble? And before you say that it was we didn't have fast bowler, yes, we didn't, but we also viewed them as an attacking option, not just them to hold up an end. So that's I think something we need to take.
Yeah. To me, the highlight of this series is going to be, after 3 test matches, if baseball does not work, will England stop and change? I don't think so they will. But let's see what happens. Chalo, questions le lete hain. So somebody, ninth ICC suicide selection is the main reason. Again, it is time to mandate players to be selected for maximum 2 formats, or will the selection wars continue to lead to more heartburn? I think this point about 2 formats is something that, I agree. Play them for 2 formats, pay them for 3 formats.
I agree completely. Bumrah का तो मैं बोल ही रहा हूँ. You keep him for test matches and ICC knockout tournaments. Pay him to even skip the IPL. Pay Mumbai Indians 15 crores कि भाई आप we will buy or Bumrah from you, or you have cap space to buy whatever you want, and pay Bumrah the 15 crores that Mumbai pays him to retain. BCCI can afford to pay that and make that. Anyways, right now Bumrah is on like the contract A or something. I think Ajinkya Rahane is not even contracted, and someone said that since India was charged 100% of the match fee, poor guy could end up with nothing. So I hope BCCI, pays the match fee, and Rahane at least gets some match fee for playing. He's not even contracted right now. But yes, no, it is time we mandate them for 2 test matches.
So somebody says, teach me how to hate cricket. I want to learn to not watch cricket till the next 4 years, till this lot resides. I think it's just an over emotional rant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care.
If you want, watch Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, but even that has
Yeah,
Rashid Khan, so I love watching him bowl.
yeah.
So,
Please watch them. Let's address how much cricket India plays. See, the number of matches India plays is not an issue. It is the management of players. That is
England
the
has 2
issue.
squads. Why can't we have 2 squads? Why is this
Yeah,
obsession that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have to play all formats? Virat Kohli को
yeah.
मत खिला, उसको
यार,
ask him to take.
हमने T20 में हमारे सीनियर्स ने अपने आप T20 छोड़ दिया, 2007 वाले सीनियर्स ने.
But you need the self confidence of a Sachin Tendulkar to make that decision with Ganguly and Dravid. Unfortunately, I don't think
वो
I
वाला
don't I
कॉन्फिडेंस
don't
है
think
नहीं.
okay, let me tell you honestly. I think the fear is, what if we leave and India wins the World Cup? This
So
is
what, यार?
just, that's what I'm saying. That
India
is
winning
unfortunately
is
what
way
plagues
more
us.
important than all
And
these
and
shenanigans.
our selectors don't have that, the cojones to call out the players to on this.
Okay, all right. So next, बिना मतलब का सर पे चढ़ा रखा है काहे के नंबर 1 डोमिनेशन किधर है. लाइक ऑजीज आईपीएल के बाद एक T20 वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीते. लुक, I get the frustration and the anger of the fans, but they don't make the rankings. ICC has the ranking system. To say that point system भी BCCI decide कर रही है, कोई नहीं कर रहा है. They just don't cross over in the final hurdle. That is something
That's
I'm
right.
willing to accept. It
Correct.
doesn't mean this is a bad team. It's a good team.
Yeah,
It still is a good
absolutely
team.
agreed.
you
Absolutely
can't
agree.
you
Absolutely.
can't make these points. These are just over emotional arguments. I don't care about over emotional. So do we have any prospective fast bowling all-rounders in test matches? Only under 19 Raj Bajwa comes to mind. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyone else there? Only
Yeah, no,
Bajwa.
हाँ. So
I
Raj,
can't recall any other name. Ranji को
I
scan
have
करके
to
अगर देखें.
I have to see if we have a spinning all rounder, but I think Raj Bawa he hai. There might be some Ranji all rounders that we might, but again untested till
I mean,
we get.
Pandya basically has given up on test match cricket, so we can't consider Pandya.
No, I think no, but I think he's very conscious. उसको 2 format ही खेलने हैं, 1 day and T20. So I think we should applaud Hardik Pandya. So we have one player who has actually decided that BCCI is not even capable of making it. It's just, let me make it for myself. But BCCI is like, नहीं, क्यों decision लिया अपने लिए? तू खेल test match. I don't think he's match fit to play test match cricket. And Pandya does not walk into the team purely as a batsman. He only walks
He
into the
doesn't.
team if he bowls.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, question for Adit. Why do you keep comparing Rohit with Sehwag in test matches? Sehwag has scored
Yeah.
8,600 runs with 82 strike rate, and Rohit has 3,700 runs with 56%.
Because मुझे मजा आता है. No.
56. How dare you?
I'm not yeah, I know, how dare I. I'm not comparing Rohit and Sehwag. I compare the positions or the options we have available. And I think Sehwag is a far superior opener than Rohit Sharma, of course.
After
But in
Gavaskar,
test
Sehwag is the greatest opener India had, period.
I agree with you. But I think Rohit Sharma could give Sehwag a run for his money as an ODI opener.
Oh, yes. In fact, Rohit is one of the top 3 greatest India ODI batsmen all time.
Openers in the
क्या लोग बात
yes.
कर रहे हैं यार?
but no test matches. I agree. Sehwag was a far
टेस्ट
better
मैच
opener.
में तो सहवाग इज फार बेटर देन
But
एवरीबडी एल्स.
you have to take horses for courses. So I always say that Rohit Sharma will play that Sehwag type of role in the one day team, when the entire in the test team, where the entire team, if they're going at 3 runs per over, Rohit will take you at 4 or 5 in over. What Sehwag used to do it at 6. But of course uski game alag thi. He did it by dominating bowlers. And but both have the same similarity. Both got out in the most infuriating fashion. If Rohit got out paddle sweeping lion on that, it's like Sehwag smashing a full toss by Simon Katich at 195 straight to the fielder at long on.
Okay, one more question. This reminds me of the time when Aussies literally dominated cricket back in early Y2K, thrashing India in World Cup final 2003. Don't you think that Aussies are getting their old glory back? Hell no. Aussie,
No,
this is
no.
not the Ponting or the Mark Taylor Australian team. Get real. This is the Australian team. Every single player was there. And we beat them in their own backyard. Just now. और हमारे आधी स्क्वाड टूट के अस्थि पंजर ढीले हो गए थे. Ashwin also could not play the fifth test because his back gave up. So let's get real. Australia has not won the Border Gavaskar Trophy since when, Adit?
Since
2014-15. 14-15,
no,
I think.
14-15, yeah, 10 years almost.
Boss, what are we talking about? This Australian team is as good as that Ponting Australian team. Please get real.
Not even
India
close.
has
Not
beaten
even close.
Australia back to back in Australia.
Arey yaar,
Back
can you
to back.
imagine? No. Can you imagine Travis Head struggling, or any guy from Ponting struggling against a part-timing spinning all-rounder like Ravindra Jadeja? The way Travis Head was, nahi yaar. One player in this team is as good as that is Steve Smith. Steve Smith could go into that Ponting Australian team and give Damian Martin a run for his
Easily.
money. No
Easily.
doubt about it. But if you are telling me that Usman Khwaja and David Warner in current form are anywhere
Hell no.
close to Matthew Hayden and Justin Langer,
Oh
hell,
ma.
can you?
क्या बोल
That's
रहे
what
हैं
I'm
ये लोग?
doing. Like, or Marnus Labuschagne is close to Ricky Ponting. I mean,
No.
so what are we talking about? Marnus Labuschagne, Ricky Ponting. So no, it's not
I
even
mean,
close.
get real, boss. Another question.
One place I will tell you, and the bowling lineup. No. अब ये बात निकली है. They had Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne. I mean,
क्या बात कर रहे हैं यार ये लोग? Glenn McGrath और Shane Warne and Jason Gillespie was fun down. Or Brett Lee.
Jason Gillespie is the only player who was dropped after scoring his last test match. He scored a 200, picked up wickets, and Australia dropped him.
Yeah.
उसके बाद he's
And
not played a
Damien,
single test matches.
उनके थर्ड सीमर ऑप्शन क्या थे? जेसन गिलेस्पी, डेमियन फ्लेमिंग फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. डेमियन फ्लेमिंग क्या खतरनाक बॉलर था. एंडी बिकल, ब्रेट ली, माइकल कैस्प्रोविस. ये उस फेज में ये 5 बॉलर होते थे उनके. ये फेज में ये उनके थर्ड ऑप्शन था. अच्छा, एक और क्वेश्चन है. इज इट डिफिकल्ट टू प्रोड्यूस अ फास्ट बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर जस्ट वन कैन स्टे फिट? ऑब्वियसली फास्ट बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर इज अ वेरी रेयर स्पीशीज.
No, in India especially, it's difficult to produce. कहाँ डालेंगे बेचारे? On these patta spitting cobras? Where
अर्जुन तेंदुलकर बनेगा हमारा मीडियम फास्ट ऑलराउंडर.
नहीं, they said fast bowler. बेचारा Arjun Tendulkar bowls medium pace. So, but he bowls a tad faster than Venkatesh Prasad. No, I'm kidding. Venkatesh Prasad was a fast bowler. Good one. Good find for us. But no, कैसे India में fast bowlers के लिए you have to have wickets where they are in play. Hardik Pandya, even at his peak, was never even a consideration in that. We play with 2 spinning all-rounders on Indian tracks, where they turn from day one. You want to produce a fast bowling all-rounder, get real and produce fair wickets in India. Abhi England aa raha hai January, February mein. I mean, we'll obviously do a preview of that series and review that series. But 6 months in advance, if freeze this frame, and if India has a single, two competitive wickets out of 5, I will be very, very impressed. And when I say competitive, you are like on the hook for all the 5
स्पिनिंग ट्रैक
days.
बनाओ, मगर टेस्ट मैच 3 दिन में खत्म नहीं होने चाहिए. चौथे या 5वें दिन में जाने वाले टेस्ट मैच पिचेस बनाओ.
Kushal, no, the pitch can spin. No, pitch can spin, but pitch should not break. This pitch is bloody breaking on day one.
बंद करो. मैं आशुतोष के जैसे बंद करो ये.
या नहीं
आशुतोष
और
वाला हो गया अभी.
थोड़ा थोड़ा एग्जैक्टली थोड़ा फैंस के बारे में भी सोचो यार लाइक पीपल आर
नॉट
पीपल
ओनली
आर
फैंस,
गोइंग
अपने
एंड गेटिंग
बैट्समैन के कॉन्फिडेंस के बारे में सोचो यार.
yeah and in I don't know why India doesn't do more day night test matches. I think we should do day night test matches.
And let Team India lose a match or so. It's
Yeah,
okay.
in my opinion I think two of the five test matches should be day night test matches. ज्यादा लोग आएंगे देखने and the fast
Yes,
bowlers will actually come into
हम
play.
जाएगा देखने को डे नाइट टेस्ट मैच. दिन में बहुत गर्मी होता है इंडिया में.
Exactly, even in January. So
बहुत
or
हालत खराब हो जाती
and it's kind of funny that again BCCI please thoda venues nikalo, you know,
है. एंड
wake
कैन
up.
वी मुंबई, कोलकाता, नरेंद्र मोदी स्टेडियम, अहमदाबाद, चेन्नई, बेंगलुरु, हैदराबाद में, we should have some respectable venues for test matches. तुमको व्हाइट बॉल को किधर भी लेके जाना है लेके जाओ, मगर टेस्ट मैच को बड़े स्टेडियम में रखो. बस कर दो यार.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I love that people in Indore and Dharamsala have the opportunity to watch test matches, but people don't
नो
come to
दे
the
डोंट,
stadium.
दे शुड नॉट.
So
उनको व्हाइट
and
बॉल
I
दिखाओ.
don't no, and I don't mind if Indore and Dharamsala get to host once every 6 years. That's fine, or once every 5 years. That and if people who are jumping on me right now in comments, I'll tell you, Aegeas Ball in England just got announced to host their first Ashes Test matches 5 years from now, or 4 years, or some crazy amount from now. My point is, Ashes will always there are two when India goes to England and Australia goes to England, they will always play in Lords and Oval, always. So similarly, I think we should always play at Wankhede and Eden Gardens for marquee tournaments or some others, because Wankhede, in my opinion, has one of the fairest crickets. Or do a toss up between Wankhede, Chepauk, Eden Gardens, and do like a couple of test matches there, because you get people coming out to watch test matches there. Unfortunately, even in Ahmedabad, they are not able. The thing is, Ahmedabad mein ye ho gaya ki last time there were 40,000 people, but it seemed empty because the stadium is so freaking giant. So I tweeted to my cousin saying, "ये तो खाली है." And the cousin like, "What are you saying, bro? There are 40,000 people in the stadium. आपको दिखते नहीं है because there's 130,000." So it's fine if Ahmedabad gets test matches and is able to ensure 40 to 50,000 players, well, fans in
बाय
the
द वे,
stadium.
तूने वो आर्टिकल पढ़ा था ये टिम विगमोर का टेलीग्राफ में, रेड बॉल्स कुड बी रिप्लेस बाय पिंक इन ऑल टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट.
That'd be fun, actually. That'd be a lot of fun. But the thing
इंटरेस्टिंग.
is, they can only do that if they assure some equanimity between the type of pink balls, because the pink SG ball is very
Because
different from the
Dukes,
pink
नहीं,
Dukes.
Dukes had made a statement that they are confident of replacing the red ball completely with a pink ball.
Yeah, England में भी इतने day night test matches नहीं होते. So let's see till England has the day night test matches. It'll be difficult to see, but interesting times nevertheless.
बैट्समैन को रोना शुरू कर देना चाहिए अगर सारा पिक बॉल होने वाला.
They're like, no, but that's fine. If the T20 is so skewed in front of there, that the bowler should get that option too. By the way, I stand corrected. I said Sri Lanka, Afghanistan. I'm sorry, I meant Bangladesh, Afghanistan की अभी tournament चल रही. Sri Lanka, Afghanistan की series चल रही थी, where Afghanistan was playing one-day internationals, and they did pretty decently, where they actually beat them in one of the three ODIs. So Afghanistan won the first one quite comprehensively. So good for the team. And then
Yes.
Sri Lanka woke
So
up that Afghanistan kaise jeeta and crushed them in the next two.
yes. So we'll wrap today's discussion up. As always, pleasure talking to you, Adit, and lage
A lot
raho.
of fun always. Absolutely. And we'll be back with the Ashes.
Yeah,
और
we'll
हम
be
बात
back.
करते
I
रहेंगे
think
यार.
what we'll do is we will maybe mid-July or somewhere, we'll do a mid-Ashes, and after the India test matches are over in West Indies, we will do a podcast after the two test matches and 2-3 match Ashes ke ho gaye hoenge. Then we'll do that. And we'll review all of that. And so guys, please follow Adit on Twitter, and you can also go and check out Mind Makers, and please like, subscribe this channel if you are watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, Audible, etc., please leave a rating and leave a review on iTunes if possible. If you want to support the Cārvāka podcast, please join the membership program by becoming a member either on YouTube or Patreon or on Fanmo, for especially for Indian cricket fans. And you can buy the Cārvāka podcast merchandise on Kadak Merch or on kushalmehra.com. I will see you guys next time. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye.